12 plus people on this hull, and you still got space for more. The DeAntonio D50 Coupe, guys. This is a boat that punches well above its weight in a couple of key areas. So in this video, I'm going to take you on a detailed tour, and I'm going to try and point out who is going to see the most value in owning a boat like this, because it punches well above its weight in some of those key areas, it also compromises, and that's what all boats do, because you can't have everything. So I'm going to show you essentially what I believe, or who I believe will see the most value. And then after this video, if you're seriously interested, we're going for a test drive. We are in beautiful Thailand. It's a wonderful destination, and we're going to put this boat right through its paces. That's going to be the next video if you're interested in that. Starting up on the bow. Okay, so just make sure you've got everything in shot. Feel free to follow me around. We've got this beautiful lounging area here. So can you guys see all of that? This is huge. I'm under the sunshade at the moment. We do need it. It's well above 30 degrees. As you can see, I'm wearing my shoes because the decks are pretty hot and I've burnt my little footsies before, so I'm leaving them on. But we've got heaps of space, nice angle, drink holders. You've got a window down below. As you can see, because this is the coupe, we've got proper wind and weather protection at the helm, which we'll get to. Let's just come around up here on the bow. You've got this storage area underneath this seat, your anchor windlass, fixed bow roller, storage for a couple of fenders in here should you need. And then we'll actually come down the port side. You've got the speaker here. This is the drop-in for the sunshade. That's a carbon pole. And then these are fender deployment hooks. You've got covers that go over all this. And then we also have courtesy lights dotted all the way around the boat. Now, one thing about this design, if you're sending older people up forward, this is not really the end of the world. It's not a dangerous design because they always got something to lean onto. So if they've got a boat hook and they're collecting a mooring, this is a design you can send someone forward who's perhaps not so sure-footed. So that's a good thing. Got a couple of downlights here for nighttime, windscreen wipers. The roof's got a lot of presence as you look at it from the drone. Midships cleat, you got the rope protector here, speakers, and we're going to discover a bit of a theme as soon as we get back into the boat. She's a real platform. I actually think the DeAntonio, it is the destination. So it's not about those of you who are trying to whiz around at top speed everywhere. You're kind of bringing your house with you, as you can hopefully see. It's an absolute ginormous boat, 4.4 meters of overall beam. Look at this. It's a proper dance floor in here. We've got an immense amount of space, and I really do believe this is the style of boat for someone who knows how they want to boat. If you have done perhaps a little bit of boating before and you bought something with a couple of cabins and you thought you were going to just overnight all the time with your partner, but you ended up bringing all your mates, everyone wanted to come out with you every weekend, and it turned into a party of 10 or 12 people every Saturday night, that's when something or a design like this is really going to suit you. I'm not necessarily suggesting crazy parties. A lot of people get their most valued time each and every week on a boat because you all get to sit around a table and enjoy a meal together, hopefully out of mobile phone reception, so everyone is focused on the entertainment or the family time, and that's what a design like this will do. So we'll get back into the middle in a second because I want plenty to show you. Got a cool little carbon fiber styling point, I'm going to call that. More speakers, deep storage, kid and doggy door just here, flat decks all the way until you get to these steps just here. So nothing to trip on, and an absolutely ginormous sun lounge. You've got 5 drink holders on each side, and you probably could get 10 people on this sun lounge if you needed. Now you can walk around, but we've actually we've semi-deployed the swim ladder down into the just on water location. It will lower, let me just double check. I think that is actually going to go down a tiny bit more, but we just did it to this location for some stabilization and to keep my shoes dry. One of the secrets, it's not such a big secret anymore, this is not an inboard boat. So plenty of you are going to know that because you'll be following this brand. But underneath this sun lounge is actually the engine bay, and we've got quad V10 400 horsepower Mercuries. You can option it, or you can also have it with twin V12s, but we're running the quad 400s. So that's 1600 horsepower in total, and the minimum horsepower is the 1200. So it does actually give you a lot of sound deadening. So it makes the experience while underway quite pleasant. Even though Mercury motors are super quiet and super luxurious, it actually gives you an even nicer ride because you just, any noise encased within the engine is also deadened by this sound box as well. So it's kind of cool. So now we've got access diesel for the genset, waste out, water in, 450 of water, 1,500 of petrol for the motors, manual bilge pump here, kid and doggy door here. This are the buttons for engine access up and down. This is for the platform up and down. And I bet you didn't know, just in here, because you're probably thinking we'd store the tender on the swim platform. Well, we actually don't. Check that out. How cool is that? So we've actually got an electric torpedo motor that charges in position just in there. This inflatable tender, which you could actually just pull up by hand, but as you can see, we've got a raising crane which raises, and you can also store the poles and the sunshades in this location. That's a really clever idea. I haven't seen anyone do that before, so it's kind of good thinking. Let's come in here and get off the hot decks, because I know boy's not got any shoes on because he left them back at the marina. So protection under the roof just here via an electrically openable sunshade. Obviously we're in the tropics. We're only ever going to open that at the end of the day. But you've got this U-shaped seating area. I'll just give you some perspective right now. Excuse me. So this boat, it's licensed for 12 people. In some regions where the licensing works differently, you could put 20 people on this thing if you're just on anchor and you're entertaining. You really have so much space. But if you want to have a meal and that's part of your focus, this is very, very good setup for that. These tables will concertina and open in the middle so this person can get out. And when those extra friends arrive and they want to join the party, no worries. So you actually just have this cushion in here that just pulls out, and then this. How cool is that? Simple solution. I like that. We've also got a fridge here. We've got one on either side. We've got some storage in here, so you've got your drawers. We have a bin just in this location, and all of our cooking is done on the hot plates just there, and we've got the hot and cold sink just there. So it is the whole, al fresco bar setup just there. A nice little bit of prep area here if you were ordering food. And because it's 30 plus degrees and very humid, I'm just going to pull out my sweat towel and enjoy the air conditioning which is on. So this AC does actually pump into this area and is very useful in the tropics. But come on in here and let's appreciate the helm. Okay, we've got a bit of carbon fiber styling, quite a vertical approach for the displays. It's not a boat that raises its bow on acceleration too much, so you can still sit down and drive, and you've got really good viz on these screens. You probably could put 3 on this space if you needed to. We've obviously got the JL audio and then dual SIMRAD multifunctional displays. This is actually a little glove box under here. We've got dual drink holders, one for the skipper, one for the navigator, and then we've got the VHF just here, the throttles here, that's the zip wake. We have the 4 keys for power onto the motors. There's your safety, there's your bow thruster. Joystick, it's also got an autopilot incorporated into it, which is good for eating up some of those miles. All the boat systems from anchor operation, horn, bilge pumps, anchor lights are all on the dash just here. These seats will go forward and aft. They won't swivel or go up and down, but in saying that, I'm 5'7", I'm probably one of the shorter people participating in this boat life experiment, and I've got really good viz. I can see not a problem. I did drive from a seated position today, didn't have any issues whatsoever. And then standing, I've got a clear sight line straight through the dash. And even if I was taller, you're still gonna have a pretty good sight line. And it's obviously, if you're seated and driving, you're gonna have a very good sight line as well. We've got storage underneath there, and then we have seating for 4 people. So I really just, before we go downstairs and look at the accommodation, which is different in this boat. Yes, of course, we can option this to have 2 sleeping cabins if you wish, and even 2 toilets. But this particular layout makes a lot of sense for hot climates. So jump in the comments once you've seen this video and let me know if you agree. But I'm going to make a couple of points just in a second. But yeah, this is the main one. Lots and lots of friends for you on your fun days out. Let's go downstairs. Tell you what, it's nice coming down here into the air conditioning. I do actually plan these shoots to start a little bit earlier in the tropics, but today got away from us, so we're battling it out in the heat. But this is the galley area. We've got a couple more cookers just here, 2 more hot plates, single sink, and then you've got a deep little storage all on Corian, and then we've got storage, and as you can see, this step also forms part of the workbench area just there. Good grab handle as you come down, and then you've got plenty of light coming through from the companionway thanks to that glass just up here. But I want you to come straight in here, past the control panel, main switchboard. This is why I think this boat is going to be so interesting to many of you in hot climates. Using Thailand as an example, I know the same thing happens in parts of Australia and in Florida. It's hot, it's humid, but it's still beautiful, and it just rains sometimes. So when the rain comes, it might only last for an hour, but if you're on a little adventure style day boat that just goes from A to B, but you're relatively open with a large group of friends, when that big storm comes, you guys are probably just going to go home. Whereas on a style of boat like this, yes, this can be optioned as a master cabin, but if you know how you want to use your boat, you might say, you know what, I'm never going to sleep on the thing, or I'm rarely going to sleep on it. The VIP up forward is fine for me on the occasion that I do that, but I see much more value in all 10 or 12 of my friends coming down here, playing a game of cards, watching TV, let the storm pass, enjoy the air conditioning, or even come down here for a nap in the middle of the day. This central piece, it moves, so you can actually slide this back and you can still create a bit of a bed. You've got storage underneath all of these seats here. The bedside tables have got storage. You've still got lockers, drawers over there, so you can utilize it as a sleeping area if you wish. But I think this is a very clever idea for those of you who want to use a boat like this in a true day boat fashion. So come with me, and basically you just come up this one step, and this boat can be optioned with 2 toilets, or you can do it like this, which again is a little bit more luxurious, because now you can walk in, you've got this pocket sliding door just here, and you've got a beautiful big separate shower just aft. So instead of having a second head, you've got that teak lined, you've got your nice little vanity here, but you still have a separate private space for the head. So someone could be using the shower, and the head actually has its own access into the VIP forward. So this becomes, come in here, it still becomes quite a nice private space for the occasional time that you think you may be using this boat in that function. So a nice little island bed, beautiful, bigger, you could say, hull windows for your views out just up here. You could just sit up in bed on this particular bed head. You've got the mirror just there. You've got air conditioning both sides. You've got downlights. You've also got opening ports just above up on deck. And are there blinds? Don't see any. So that's something to think about over night time, but maybe it's an option. You've got some storage underneath the bed, and both of these big full-size mirrors actually have storage behind them. But one thing I want to point out, we obviously have a door to close off that space if you wish, but you can also, just by operating this little guy here, if I'm doing it properly, oh there we go, this will actually close off the space. So you've got an immense amount of usable space, but this door will actually secure in position there, and then you can use it like a normal door, or you open the whole space up like so, which is kind of cool. It just gives a bit more an open plan vibe, and it gives you a little bit of, it gives you some options. Come on back upstairs. This year alone, I'm going to test over 100 different power and sailboats. So if you find that my experience could be useful or help you decide which boat is going to be best for you, I'm on Manect. My name's Dan Jones. Find me on Manect. Link is down below in the description. Thanks, guys. So who is the DeAntonio D50 Coupe best suited to, and who is it best not suited to? Let's start with the not. If you're wanting to bash through big crazy ocean waves and prove to your mates that you're an ocean legend, this is probably not the design brief for you. You can option this with a swimming pool on the bow. Now, that doesn't lend itself to crazy offshore conditions. Go and look at a fishing boat or something slightly different. But if you want to entertain lots and lots of friends, if you're a social person, if you're a family person, and if you live or if you boat in beautiful locations, like where we are right now, if that's part of your boat life, if that's what your wife wants to do, well then that's when a DeAntonio might suit your needs. So it's always about diving deep into the mission and finding the hull which suits you best. 12 plus people on this hull, and you still got space for more, in my opinion. That's where she shines, and that's where you should be focusing if that's how you see yourself boating. If you want to see how this boat drives, if that's something that's important to you, because I do see many of you in this part of the world perhaps not caring because you're going to get someone else to drive it. So if you want to see how it drives for yourself, or if you want to send a video to your captain to show him or her how it drives and get some feedback, that's the next video. That's going to come up on the screen pretty soon. Click on the link and it'll take you to the test drive video where we go into as much detail as we possibly can in flat, calm waters. My name's Dan Jones. You've been watching Dan's Boat Life. I hope that was useful. Love you lots. See you on the next one. Thanks, guys. So guys, don't forget to subscribe, because that's how I get access to these boats. If the factories see that lots of you are engaging and subscribing to these videos, they open their doors and give us access to more boats for you to test. And also jump in the comments and let me know what boat you have now, or what boat you're using my channel to search for next. It really helps me make decisions on what boats I should test in the future. Cheers.